Hi guys, it's Evelyn from Twin Flames 3344. I have a read for you for the Divine Feminine and the Divine Masculine, both from today. I have some information from my sand art today, and I will do oracle cards at the end as usual. The energies today are a little bit more stressful. I'm holding a lot of stress in my back between my wings. So I call it an iron cross because with my back injuries, that's the feeling that I had in that area. So it feels like, you know, an iron cross in your back across your wings. So make sure you do some physical activity to break things up and get some energies moving, which I still need to do. Go do my run today. So I'm going to get right into the sand art stuff. It is October 20th, 2018. And the sand art today, I saw like a dinosaur type bird attacking like a dinosaur butterfly. Like they were both very big. I saw a right-armed shark, but it looked like the right arm like had kind of like a bullfighter's uniform or you know, that outfit. So just a bullfighter in general might be coming up as well. I saw a dragon spits on a pyramid while the dragon's heart breathes fire. I saw a kangaroo. I saw 3 sly characters, and they were all kind of like, everything was based around the ocean today. They were like fish characters. 3 fishy, maybe they're fishy characters, but 3 sly characters and a fire pit. A blue whale, a squid, and a blowfish. A hammerhead shark. Also, I saw a left arm block, so there's a feminine block, possibly gossip. Also, I saw machinery. Might have even been like a vacuum on the ocean floor. I saw a woman or a girl prisoner being interrogated by cold fish. And it looked like it was outside, like on a mountain or something, but she looked scared and lonely, like, and kind of abandoned there. I saw a sea turtle. I saw someone with 1 ball, so someone who's lost a testicle, having difficulty connecting to an egg, so having difficulty conceiving. But I was also getting that there may be a tube blockage on the male side, not the feminine side. But I guess there could be a tube block for the feminine, but I was getting this in relation to a testicle. So someone might need to know that. Also, I got bridging the gap. Explosive emotions released in a river gap or a valley river gap. That's just what I was getting. A woman wanting to jump who does jump. And I was also getting the liver, and about the liver storing a lot of emotions, and that might be a lot of the tension I'm feeling today in the back and wings also. I also saw an eagle face, and I felt like it was Thoth trying to come through. I saw drones, to be the lighthouse in the storm, be flexible, be a flexible lighthouse. Elephant, or a bird or fish like elephant. Is there a bird or a fish that kind of looks like an elephant? Also getting maybe just Republicans with a lot of testosterone. Male arousal came up again. And then basically Jesus walking on water. And also ghosting came up. And then at the end, everything was transformed into like a beautiful new valley that's formed by the sea, with lots of pyramid-shaped mountains. It was really beautiful. It was very peaceful at the end. It was a lot of like tense energy through it all, because it was kind of like nothing was clear or organized. And then at the end, when it had finally all settled into what it wanted to be, it was really beautiful and peaceful. So the transformation of that, all of that energy. All right, so today is the 20th. The 20th is the judgment. And so it's very much about being called to action, especially for the twins. But it's also about just judgment in general. There may be a lot of court. I've been getting a lot of court stuff coming up the past couple weeks. So there may be some final judgments that come in, maybe not on the weekend, but maybe yesterday or Monday. Also, the day adds up to, and of course that's 2, and 2 is the feminine energy. But 20 is one of the more harsh feminine energies because it is that of judgment. But it's really the divine feminine energy with the divine energy behind it. You know, that it's the divine becoming empowered, or the feminine becoming empowered. Yeah, there's something about that too, about the feminine being in judgment. And maybe there's some judges here that are feminine who are coming down with some of these decisions for anyone who may be in court, whether it's a divine masculine or divine feminine. The day adds up to 41-5, which is the Ace of Cups. So that's about self-love and new beginnings in love and just beautiful love in general. Okay, and 41-5, 5 is that of change and expansion. It's also of romance and children, and the 41 is the 1 of the masculine energy on the inside, and the 4 of being responsible and structured on the outside, coming through as that 5 of change. So first thing this morning, I woke up again. I woke up yesterday at 7:07. I woke up again today at 7:07, hearing the David Cassidy song, I Think I Love You, for those of you who, I'm dating myself a bit. You can look up the words, but the song is called I Think I Love You, I think. And it starts out with, this morning I woke up with this feeling, and I haven't thought about that song in a long, long time, but I absolutely woke up and it was not me thinking it, was coming in. So that was a message for you guys for sure. And then as I was starting the Divine Feminine read, 6 flags came up. So some of you may be going to the amusement park. And all day long, cars have been flying south, like really fast. So I don't know if something's gone south. I had a car flying north this morning, but they're all like whizzing by. The one this morning I was doing the past when it went flying north, but the rest of the day it's like everyone's flying south. I was also getting hiding behind his mother's purse strings. It could just be hiding behind his mother's apron as well. You know, those energies about the, you know, mama's boy, that kind of thing. For the Divine Feminine, the read was done at 9 a.m. this morning. The major arcana were Alchemy and Hermit, and this is the Sirian Starseed deck, is the major deck. The clarification cards are all the Gilded Tarot, the Tarot Sexual Magic, and the Golden Universal. And of course my numerology deck I use as well, and Romance Angels. Is there anything else I use? And of course the standard Rider-Waite mini deck for my clarifications. So there were 2 wands, 2 cups, 4 swords, and 1 pentacle. So the Divine Feminine might be too much in her head today, and being the Alchemy's there, which is temperance, and the Hermit, isolating and needing to balance and be patient. The Queen of Swords came up, as well as the Knight of Cups and the Knight of Swords. So 2 knights, and 2 knights from today coming up the 22nd, so there might be something for someone coming up in 2 nights. The coding for the Divine Feminine, not much in numbers came up. 7 came up. Let's see. I'm sorry, 1, 7, and 17 actually, as well as 2241. I was getting information about what was all about manifestation, okay? And so be careful what you manifest. I was getting possibly a race, so some of you may be involved in a, you know, some kind of charity race, or maybe just a marathon that you want to run. But something to do with physical therapy, so maybe it's something through physical therapy, or something that's good physical therapy for you to run a race. So I was getting a saint race, so something could be through a church as well. And I was also getting Race Street. And the Seven of Orbs was coming up in the codes. So that's all about, you know, the main energy about the Seven of Orbs is taking a big risk. But it also, you know, has underlying energies of lying and cheating, stealing, because it has risk involved with it. But there's something about Race Street and the Seven of Orbs and the point of manifestation. And in the Sirian Starseed deck, the Seven of Orbs also has to do with downloads, because in this, the picture is a little bit different. It's about passing on orbs or downloads. Also, so I'm just making sure you take time during the day to trace your own thoughts as far as the Divine Feminine inside the Divine Masculine's heart. Take a moment to connect. Also, since 17 was coming up with race 2, somebody, because we have 17th in race in Philadelphia, but that could be coming up as far as streets for some people, or if that means something else for someone, 17th in race or race in 17th. And also giving to the homeless part-time came up. Just 17 in general, which is, you know, shining your light, healing yourself, finding your dreams, and maybe you want to deal with risky thoughts part-time. You know, it's kind of like even challenging myself with my thoughts and my downloads. Something that's fun for you. Or talk therapy. Okay, so for the Divine Feminine, let's see here, swords and... So again, I said the Queen of Swords and Two Knights were coming up in the read, so keep that in mind as I'm going through that, as well as that it's all about manifestation, patience, and isolation possibly for the Divine Feminine. So attention, number one, to the inner journey, but also attention to the one big flame. After injustice of no attention, possibly from a twin angel, or choosing a path of patience, exposing the seed and transmuting the downloads, giving attention to new ideas to germinate. The King of Wands is staring down twins and putting pressure on them. And like, I haven't brought this up in a while, but a lot of times I would get Metatron as being the King of Wands, so if that resonates with you. But I'm getting this King of Wands is staring down the twins, putting pressure to choose a path, or choose a path with a dark X. Okay, so that might be one of the paths that you're choosing as a Divine Feminine. It could also be energy about the Divine Masculine in your reading. Okay, it's like the Divine Masculine, or having these two options, that he's one with the dark X that he's already got a handle on, and it's just coming up in that description as the Dark Mother energy, or to choose the world on the left, the old or the new, the Akashic Records or the New World 5D, breaking ground of new frontiers, growing up, working hard to connect etherically while grounding the heart in order to stay connected to self, while the King of Wands turns up the heat and the Empress is detached from her heart, cracks the whip. And I was specifically getting this for the Divine Masculine, but it can relate to the Divine Feminine as well. This Dark Mother versus focused detachment, right? So a mother who's either, it's different. The Dark Mother is coming up as detached from her heart, right? Because she can be cruel and she can be controlling. Whereas focused detachment is staying present, okay? So I want you to be aware of that difference, okay? But this is the choice you guys have, as well as the Divine Masculine. Also, soulmates or partners not talking may get attention. The Empress has been working on him like a dog, under the watchful eye of the King of Wands. And actually, I'm going to, before I go on, let me show you the pictures before I forget. This is the Divine Feminine read for today. And then this is the Divine Masculine read for today. Okay. All right. So for the Divine Feminine, continuing, some stubbornness and laziness is coming up, not wanting to work while going through suffering and purges, when feeling powerless and drained, a loss of independence and negative self-talk. And again, you can take this both ways, however it applies. It can apply to the masculine as well. Also, I was getting between 1 and 4 children being very negative about attention to soulmates taking away their attention, or worried about no money being left for them, or time with a new partnership or union. So if anyone's breaking up a marriage and they're going into a new relationship, there may be children involved, you know, who are worried about themselves and what they're going to get out of this or not get out of this, okay? So engagement came up as the underlying energy, so it's raising it to the next level, basically. It doesn't have to be a formal engagement. But also then came up the young and the restless. All right, so there might be a lot of kids feeling young and restless, but it also could be about the twins feeling young and restless. The flame is out, showing romantic, and this is still all underlying energy for the Divine Feminine. The flame is out, showing romantic tie to Robin Hood. The third party he's been hiding. One showing off her boobs and looking in the mirror, and the other laying in bed dreaming, waiting for the King of Wands to put down his tools of destruction and hold her. Both cloaked in golden robes. Or, so there's different scenarios here in this underlying energy, or one exposing herself fully and reflecting on wounds to release, and the other lying in bed waiting to be poked or whipped, not facing her wounds. So someone who's allowing someone else to abuse her. And then came up underlying energy of individuality, very important. The Empress is either unstable and or moving after being over a loss, walking away from a mess or chaos, and a pile of shit, it literally was, with carrots in it, so it was kind of funny, but I don't know, someone might resonate with that with their kids and everything. But anyway, that's what came up in the pictures. Coming together at work with the wounded warrior. The wounded warrior, or King of Wands, proposes a partnership, engagement, and passion. Like the fourth leg of the race, passing the baton to the fastest runner, the final runner, despite the negativity and lack of support around him, or his partnership wounds and negative self-talk, or his partnership wounds or negative self-talk are getting attention, committing to self more fully as mothers learn to fade into the background. So it's like divine masculines who have always been babied by their mother, or people tease them about being mama's boy. The mothers are now learning to let go and let him live his own life and allow their children to make their own choices. And this could be for the Divine Masculine and his children as well, or the Karmic and the children. Or it could be the Divine Feminine and the children as well. Allowing them to make their own choices, whether they be happy or sad. It's their journey, it's their lessons and their wounds to clear. Each one is an individual. Recently, the wheel turns forward, allowing funds to flow more freely in order to possibly fix or patch up things, or possibly cover up imperfections, or possibly cover up status issues of the King of Pentacles, now back in his element, grounded and strong, being patient and alchemizing success, good news and attention with wounds, weakness and humility. The foundation has to do with the Queen of Swords, who's got a handle on the truth and light, but may be cold in the shadow of the King of Wands, willing her to let go of him and focus on the rest of the world. After she exposes some sneakiness and half-truths, egos, epiphanies, and awareness, as their commitment increases. Essentially, the issue central to the read is coming together with others at work, in her knowing for the Divine Feminine. Strikes a new passion for examining the unseen, the back door, the portal for which all the crap can be discarded from our lives, like alcohol, being willful, and being vengeful. Passionate in offering love through message and patience, allowing emotions to flow freely, and also passion for the Knight of Cups, the King of Cups with a difficult past or childhood, but a good man who needs clarity about the Queen of Cups and coming together with the wounded warrior, about the lies, or the Queen of Cups talking about others, about the wounded warrior, or him not in his truth about the Queen of Cups, third-party emotional affair, as the wounded warrior, with little fight left. Also, from the karmic side of things, the King and Queen of Cups, if it's the Divine Masculine with his karmic, share a negative past with lies between them, that while the King of Cups is offering love each day to others, like at work, the Queen of Cups was out with friends gossiping and causing wounds and mixed emotions for him. He who receives the attention publicly at work. This Queen of Cups has stood by her family, her immediate family first, who doesn't express their feelings. That they're not expressing truth and feelings has caused dysfunction in her world. And now, like her family, keeping it in for appearance's sake, or not like her family, and spirits connecting and talking not only about her truth and feelings, but also gossiping about others to make herself feel more important. There is a Sagittarius, possibly poisoning herself with alcohol or with thoughts of death for herself, or wishing death on a Queen of Pentacles who she sees as stealing her man by pulling his heartstrings, while she rejects him, calling him a narcissist, cheating and controlling, using artificial sweetness on the High Priestess or a secret, and chatting her up to shut her up. So again, the karmic seeing the Divine Masculine as doing these things. She rejects him, calling him a narcissist, and accuses him of cheating and being controlling, and accuses him of even using artificial sweetness on a secret person or a High Priestess, chatting her up and then shutting her up. The challenge for the Divine Feminine is taking the risk of passing on downloads, while others who don't understand, who may be watching, after feeling a lot of sadness and loss for being judged and hearing the call to wake up others. Wait a second here. The challenge for the Divine Feminine is taking the risk of passing on downloads while others who possibly don't understand may be watching. After feeling a lot of sadness and loss for being judged and hearing the call to wake up others, other angels, including some that may be seen as narcissistic, to go within for a reunion, allowing God, Source, Higher Self, to take control and gain truth and balance for the High Priestess and the Magician. Soon the Knight of Swords, or the Magician, sends 5D messages to his secret, or High Priestess, writing manically. So him as the feminine may be writing, journaling manically. After the Magician dumps a lot of cups and toxicity, and possibly a false love mid-cycle, instead of waiting till the end like he would normally, he's changing the pattern in order to start a new life. The Divine Feminine is hermiting after conflict and expansion cycle is done. We're receiving a lot of the heavy downloads, and come together with others to celebrate in relief or in hard work. Pay attention to the red flags is what comes up for the Divine Feminine, so pay attention to your signs and synchronicities, as well as expressing your love. Share your lightheartedness with everyone. Around her, or as seen as waiting for the 5D message to arrive after the Queen of Swords has stood up for herself to speak her truth. To possibly tired and angry negative mothers and children, or speaking her truth could also make the Queen of Wands and Page of Wands angry, a mother and child, or they're just tired of listening, and so that maybe other people are just listening, the karmics in your life who are listening to the Divine Feminine, who are just tired of listening and are no longer inspired to hear it. The Divine Feminine needs to clear blocks of suffering, secret suffering, and heartbreak and separation, dreaming and not feeling worthy. There is manifestation here as the main advice here for the Divine Feminine, but even more importantly, a happy ending. Putting it out there and being ignored, or then pushing them away. So be careful that you're not energetically pushing your Divine Masculine away and being energetically defensive, even if you're not saying anything. Giving it up to God, journaling about mothers and karmics and a new life after being silenced. So some of these things that you need to work on are clear. The messenger of truth, of inequity, of the Queen of Pentacles reversed, of being ungrounded, after being ungrounded, giving it up to God or higher self or source, to a higher love, after blocked creatively, finding peace in that, and feeling and being blocked from an open conversation about love, orchestrating the things that you love with freedom, and taking a leap of faith to cross that river, or cross to the other side, break the barrier, or break the pattern. Success, attention, and good news of the Queen of Swords, looking to the Hermit for some light and guidance from the North Star, alchemizing passion and messages and 5D messages to relieve the suffering of the Knight of Cups, cause suffering through an offer of love, allowing a big release of emotion. So even if you're suffering, allow that release of emotion, and following guidance from a higher love. Attention and patience of love. The Queen of Swords with a new passion and offering love. The Hermit gives 5D messages to transform into self-love, giving hope to those suffering in order to manifest a happy ending. So you all have the ability to help others by just being love, no matter what you do during the day, even just going to the grocery store. Shine your light with the person at the register or someone who you might run into in the aisle. There's always an opportunity to shine your light. So that's for the Divine Feminine. I'm going to do the Divine Masculine. This was done at 104, and the major arcana were Starseed, Hermit, and Tower. Starseed is the Fool, Hermit, and then the Tower is the Tower. There was two Wands, 3 Cups, and 3 Pentacles. The Knight of Wands came up as the only real court card, but in parentheses I also wrote 9 of Pentacles and 9 of Cups because I often see them as characters. The numbers that came up in the coding were 8, 80, 9, and 89, 17, and 99, as well as 233. For the Divine Masculine, the coding had everything to do with abundance. And 80 nights was coming up, 8 or 80 nights, so that may be relevant to some of you. And I thought it was about January 1st because that came up before with 100 nights, but this was coming out more around January 10th, 80 nights. But it's about the Divine Masculine getting his wish of abundance. Or it might be his karmic getting her wish of abundance. Or it could actually be, it could be related to the Divine Feminine wishes coming true as well. It was showing this abundance coming to one of the feminines, not the masculine. But it has to do with his life. So it could be his karmic or the Divine Feminine, but it has to do with 8 or 80 nights of one of the feminines' wishes coming true. So we'll have to see about that one. I have to see. I forget what comes up in the read about this stuff, so we'll see. I was getting it more towards the Divine Feminine, but it could be, like I said, in his relationship. Maybe the karmic comes across some abundance. So for the Divine Masculine, the Knight of Wands, stuck in emotions of making a bold move, is holding back an announcement of working possibly with crystals or just working out details. And the number 380 came up, if that's relevant to any of you. But working out details of flame. The Knight of Wands is busy with family, moving. I see like a scuffle of people moving to the light side in a big shuffle behind the scenes. Like maybe someone feels like they're going to get caught in something, so they rearrange everything really quickly, so they come out and they start to just live their lives differently as well, seeing that what they were doing before, they can't live that way anymore and they have to live more in the light. This is the energy I was getting for that. That it's all about the Knight of Wands. Knight of Wands was the only court card. Is busy with family, moving to the light side in a scuffle or a shuffle, or just moving behind the scenes as exposed by a secret or the High Priestess or some psychic energy, or lion energy was coming across as well. The Sun is out exposing the Queen of Wands, which also could be lion energy, that could be Leo, while the Queen of Swords, possibly with an infection, illusions exposed of a negative past, a bad childhood, and or the past returning to reveal secrets. So it was all about a lot of secrets being revealed. The Queen of Wands dashes all hopes and dreams of the Queen of Swords reversed, who's not talking, as a psychic past returns to the Knight of Wands. And then the soulmate underlying energy comes up. So this can relate to a soulmate or a twin flame, either one. It's the Two of Cups. The Divine Masculine had silenced her, keeping her quiet, or she might have silenced him as well. The karmic might have silenced him. So we're talking about the Queen of Wands as the karmic energy in the Divine Masculine. I was getting the energy of either the Divine Masculine had silenced either the karmic or his Divine Feminine, or his karmic had silenced him. One of them making the other keep quiet about whatever was going on. Any family secrets, or just about anything that's going on, or with the twin. Also is coming up is keeping them quiet about maybe dating or flirting with another, trying to get attention in order to make a partner jealous so they come back to them. There's a lot of that about, you know, obviously you're all going to have different scenarios. So there may be some people just dating multiple people who are trying to keep one secret from the other. Or in a marriage, it could be, you know, married couples playing games with each other to make each other jealous, so that they'll come back to them, or just to get their attention, so that, or maybe they just like to fight so they can have makeup sex afterwards, and maybe that's their thing and that's the only way they can get aroused. So just this kind of energy was coming up. Or someone being dramatic in order to get their partner to think someone's after her. So a karmic could be, you know, not, you know, basically lying and making her partner believe that someone's after her, so he'd protect her. And it could either be another man, that maybe she flirted with someone on purpose to get his attention so that she could use that, you know, to get her partner to pay more attention to her. Or she might have had an affair with someone else who now won't leave her alone. So using her, using the Divine Masculine to protect her from this man who's now stalking her or obsessed with her. Or getting him to believe that the Divine Feminine is doing something to her in order to get him to save her from the Divine Feminine. And obviously, you know, that would keep him from the Divine Feminine. So jealousy ploys, also between partners. You don't have to be married partners, any partners. There may be some couples who just use jealousy ploys with each other that they've always used on each other. But there now is a rebirth of their ways. And this is coming out in general anyway, that in the exposure of secrets, the people who have not been of the light in the past are now either going to change into their light, or, you know, they're you know, not, and they're going to end up paying for what they've done. So destiny calls as those who have lied, cheated, and stolen are exposed in crimes of passion, now getting real after a taste of the rainbow. And possibly some have dropped all activities, burdens, and or confessed. Some may try to escape the fire, but leave traces behind. Another scenario too could be the Divine Masculine, whether married or not married, could be possibly seeing a woman who's married, and he may or may not know that. And so that the husband of this woman may actually come after the Divine Masculine. So the Knight of Wands confesses a secret past to a soulmate or about a soulmate to protect himself or herself in transformation. So in trying to let out secrets but still kind of trying to cover themselves, they may be, kind of giving half-truths. Recently detoxing sadness and loss of a Queen of Cups giving to others, or him continuing to give to others while a Queen of Cups is in rehab, and the Queen of Pentacles has a turn of bad luck. The Knight of Wands drops secret burdens of the past. This is all having to do with the past, okay? So in the foundation for the Divine Masculine, the Hermit, whose light is blocked possibly by a person who's Cancer, because it was the Chariot. So it could be someone who is a Cancer, but also, so this is a Hermit whose light is being blocked by a possible Cancer and a very active family, or someone in the family or friends of the Divine Masculine may have Cancer, HIV, or an IV drug problem is now exposed. So something they may have been trying to keep secret is now exposed. Or a family on the warpath after this Hermit person freed themselves. So the Hermit it usually comes up as a Virgo or a medical person, it could be a legal person as well, or just a wise old man. Okay? But again, it's about this Hermit freed themselves by taking a leap of faith and walking away to be with a secret soulmate or psychic soulmate, and then centrally, and then another car flew by south. So in this whole situation that I just mentioned, someone might have flown south to get away from the situation, or someone might have gone south. So someone might have taken a turn for the worse. Or an angel drops a bombshell or a big download. A bomb drops at home. This is the central issue. A big, huge download. It's like a bomb dropped, okay? But it's also about a new start, because ultimately it's the Fool energy. It's about, the card is actually Starseed, so it's a new start, taking that leap of faith. But an unhappy family imprisoned, or with a prisoner, or wrapped up in unhappiness, drinking, betrayal, back pain, in a breakup or disconnected, and wanting new passion, and a new home, and a fresh start. Okay, this is the energy, all in the central of the read. There was nothing happy about, there was like 6 clarification cards that came up on that, and they were all negative. Except for the end. The end of it was about the Ace of Wands and the Four of Wands, wanting that new passion, that new home, or that new start, new family. There's an angel, or so it could be guides coming up, but it also could be a Sagittarius person, is patient, but are walking away. The challenge for the Divine Masculine is the attention brought to an unhappy marriage, or contract, or tradition, or religion, could be that too. Ding, that was a confirmation. Where a Taurus magician has been called to manifest and was judged harshly by a dysfunctional family not expressing their feelings or keeping him in the loop, so someone who might have kind of started ignoring him, or judgment cost the family money that's not being discussed, or it's being hidden. And also it's getting, someone's scenario could be where they lost all the kids' college funds. Somebody lost it or spent it, and now it's completely gone. Now in the head and heart of the Divine Masculine is manifesting a new start with a family, trying to be patient with the family before walking into a new marriage or a new contract, with no option but to journey on with success and attention for being a big spender, jealous, always needing clarity about everything, and always dumping a load on others or blowing a load for addictions, overindulgences, and third-party situations. The Magician has a trophy and a 5D lover, obsessed and hung up and needing to talk. So again, I'm going to read that because there's a lot there. So now in the head and heart of the Divine Masculine, in manifesting a new start, with or without their family, but trying to be patient with family before walking into any kind of new marriage. And he may not have a new marriage planned, but this is in his head. Like, if I'm ever going to do this again, he's going to be really patient before he makes that decision, doesn't jump in and not know the person he's marrying. So he's going to be patient before walking to a marriage or contract with no options. With him having no options now but to just journey on and take the lead, right? To have good news and attention. But there's attention coming up here for being, whether it's him or a karmic or someone in the family, being a big spender, being jealous, always needing clarity about everything, always dumping a load on others or blowing a load for addiction, so spending too much money, and overindulgences and third-party situations. So it's going to be different for everyone. It's not necessarily all that stuff for one person. The Magician has a trophy or a trophy wife and a 5D lover, obsessed and hung up, and him needing to talk. Someone's family may also be involved in a cult, and obviously that's not going to be for everyone. So, but that may be a specific message for someone. Or thought to be part of a cult, or just complete obsession. Someone's in a race to get married, but negative family attention has inspired transformation to actually talk about a message of love through work, and or possibly a miscarriage of a child through work, or because of work. So somebody might have had a miscarriage. And then there's multiple scenarios here. Soon, in the near future, the Divine Masculine finds his own independence, or an independent woman or a young woman finds her independence from the family after resting, being strong in a sudden event, explosion, manifestation, or possible miscarriage. So somebody might have miscarried. Someone may have been present at work when they should have been on bed rest, so that might have been a situation as well. And the Divine Masculine's coming up feeling like he is his work, or he's had no options but to be all about his work. That's the energy that he's in, and that's also Trinity comes up in that card. And it could be that he's all about his work since the new moon, or possibly a deception of an emperor who's out of control and the King of Wands who's sick and tired or just really angry. And these are two people together. So it could be the same person who's totally out of control and pissed at work, or it can be this emperor. So it could be a father and son, or just a boss and the Divine Masculine. But since the new moon, or the deception of the Emperor reversed and the King of Wands reversed, about a new child, a younger child, or the youngest child, or a message of love that's been kept quiet. The cards that came up for the Divine Masculine are reconciliation, make the effort, worth waiting for, and very soon. Around him, or how he's seen, is the Tower card. Due to control, manipulation, jealousy games, and defensiveness, and fear in general, the Tower is coming up. So it's a sudden event, or sudden epiphany. Okay? So impatient and giving up the fight, the Knight of Wands explodes in a passionate rush back to the past, obsessed with work and unable to focus due to constant drama, so reliving what he went through at work. The Divine Masculine needs to clear blocks about the E-Tower, which is what I see as the Divine Feminine's heart. The Divine Feminine's heart, the heartbreak of the High Priestess, or the separation for him or his own psychic abilities and offering a new life and being dumped, a split between worlds, vacillating, or a split or divide in a world without a lover, or feeling that his world is incomplete without the truth or a lover, or blocks about saving money, receiving visitors, or all sudden events, including suddenly being dumped. So maybe the Divine Masculine has a lot of anxiety about any sudden happenings, like people suddenly showing up at their house, or anything like that, okay, that brings up anxiety. And I get that because it's very Capricorny, where you always want to prepare ahead of time so you don't get stressed out right before. So there may be a lot of anxiety around that kind of thing for the Divine Masculine. Then abundance comes up as the main guidance for the Divine Masculine. So it's very positive energy for the Divine Masculine, that the wounded warrior is confronted by a 5D fantasy or by his wealthy family. The family dreams of abundance come with an offer of love from the devil at work. So it might be a dark offer at work, where he is awakened, waiting to start over in order to have his wish of a 5D devil, a 5D devil love, independent from the family or family business. It also could just have to do with him wanting to split off on his own if he is involved with a family business, or just leaving a job to start something on his own. Holding on loosely to an offer of love, ungrounded by dark justice. Justice is blind as the hermit sheds light on those left out in the cold or injured by offers of love. The Knight of Cups offers love to those who have been left behind, as the hermit sheds light on that as well, changing the story around. So you can either be the one of love or be the victim, right? We don't want to be the victim anymore. It's always up to you. No one's doing anything to you. It's about us taking responsibility for our own pain and knowing that anything that comes into our energy is our own subconscious energy drawing it in, so that we can have what's in our subconscious being brought up to our consciousness so that we can let it go, and that might come out in a purge, very well so. But to be responsible for our own pain. The Knight of Wands and possibly secret hermit at work explode into drama, feeling sadness and loss with a bomb dropped, giving attention to independent female, who's been kept in the Rapunzel Tower as an unhappy family, or possibly a sham fam who's artificial, gets some kind of financial justice. The Knight of Wands is over the sadness of the women of his past. Okay, so maybe in some kind of court case or a divorce case, whatever it is, maybe whether the Divine Masculine won or not, it's finally, like I said, judgment is coming down, or has come down, and he's finally realizing he has to take responsibility for his own pain and letting go of all the stuff from his past that he's been holding on to, as well as family unhappiness. The hermit invokes a new beginning, taking a leap of faith, receiving a huge download of family and success. So it's regarding family and success. At work, an independent woman is very satisfied on her own as the Scorpio plans a visit to get their wish of abundance. So that's like the hanger. I'm not sure what that's going to mean, but or sudden visitors may make a Scorpio happy. But that energy was coming up. All right, I'm going to pull some oracle cards for you as well. All right. I hope you guys are all doing okay. Drinking your water. Okay, so from the Ascension deck, clear line. Take that deep breath. This is for our guidance. What is the message for us today? For everyone watching, what is the message? Alright. Well, that one wants to come out too. The moon is at the bottom of the deck, number 11. And the affirmation for the moon is I listen to my divine feminine wisdom. So again, it's, you know, relying on your feminine knowledge, your knowing. Okay, that's the underlying energy. And then the first card that came out was the Golden Ray of Christ, which is number 5. And Lord Kumika came up as well, which is number 42. So 5 is the Hierophant, and 42 is the Two of Cups. All right, signifying a marriage, but that could just be a divine marriage within yourself, your connection with your higher self as well, and God. So the number 5 says, blessings pour onto you when you choose this card of unconditional love. The Gold Ray of Christ, excuse me, I just have to reposition myself. My back's been really bad this week. All right. Blessings pour onto you when you choose this card of unconditional love. The Gold Ray of Christ is held within the cosmic heart at the 9th dimension. The angels ask you to invoke the love, wisdom, healing, and protection of this beautiful energy. Ask it to flow through you and surround you with its golden light. When you carry this high frequency force in your aura, you can relax and know you are totally safe. Remember to send the Gold Ray of Christ to others. Lord Kumika. So the gold light's been coming up a lot. All right, so you might, if you want to use protection, you can put some gold light around yourself. But just make sure to you know, stay in your higher vibration, your higher energy, and be loving and wise and healing, and to protect that beautiful energy, to allow it to flow. Lord Kumika says, and this again is the 42, is the Two of Cups. It's the 6 of love, family, and community. The 2 of the feminine energy on the inside, with the 4 on the outside coming off as very responsible and grounded and structured. Kumika came from another universe to set the conditions for the golden age of Atlantis with Archangel Metatron. Okay, and Metatron came up in the read today. He was returned to the koan of the 8th ray, and 8 came up as well, a soul ray of purification, enlightenment, and communication. The 8th ray. When you receive this card, you're on a quest for enlightenment. Your guidance is to breathe Kumika's blue topaz light into your aura. Expand your attitude to one of unconditional love, acceptance for others, and personal responsibility. Kumika will open new doors for you and guide your footsteps towards enlightenment and ascension. And the affirmation is, I call on Lord Kumika to enlighten and support me. Okay, so the blue topaz light comes up in this, and actually aquamarine light came up in a conversation earlier as well. So it's all in that area of between the heart and the throat. And it's very much of the dolphins and the whales, you know, with the aqua and the topaz blue. Okay, it's very much about that island water, that beautiful clear water, clear emotions. Okay, so it's saying to use that ray for purification, enlightenment, and communication. And that blue topaz is going to be the throat chakra. Okay. All right, so then we have the past life deck. Clear and align. Clear and align. Clear and align. Okay, take another deep breath. What is the advice for everyone watching today? And the bottom of the deck is leaving or travel. Okay, this has been coming up a lot. This is the underlying energy though. Okay. So some of you may be leaving or travel, so whether it's travel or leaving a relationship, someone's packing a bag. Train tracks. The card that came out is Monk or Nun. Okay. So this is very much about prayer. But just being a monk or nun is coming up to break any vows that you've made in past lives, and all contracts, all connections, prayers, contracts, any attachments, anything that keeps you bound to something from a past life or from this life. You want to, with your intent, break all of those things. but also use your prayer. If you're going to isolate, use that time wisely, is what I'm getting. And I'm being called to the pinkies as well. I brought this up before. From my energy medicine book, there was an example of someone who had a heart attack, and a kid just, nobody knew what to do for the person who's having the heart attack, and a little kid ran out of nowhere and just bit on the tips of the pinkies, because it's in the line, the heart line, and actually revived the man. So if you remember that in that kind of situation, biting on the end of the pinky, if for some reason nobody knows what to do, if you know no one's there, and and you have to wing it, just bringing that up. And it's from the Energy Medicine book by Donna Eden, so you can look it up online if you want to. Then we have the Journey of Love. Okay. So clear and align. Clear and align. Okay. Take another deep breath, guys. What is the advice for everyone today? What is the advice? The bottom of the deck is 44 rings of time, which we just had. Okay. Rings of time. And 44 again is an 8. It's the number of Atlas and social work, and it's also the 4 of Cups. And the card that came out is Burning Hero. It's very gold. It looks like if you had a pot of gold that was melting, that's what it reminds me of. It's number 3, which is of the Empress. And abundance came up in the Divine Masculine read today, so it's very much about that. And relating to the Divine Masculine being the Burning Hero. It's very much yellows and oranges and a little bit of red, but green at the bottom as well. Oh, and that's the word I was looking for, cauldron. A cauldron of fire. That's the word I was looking for in my sand art yesterday, the big pot that I couldn't think of, a cauldron. So I'm going to read this to you, number 3. Burning Hero. From the transformative fires of life's tests, you emerge now, stronger in self-belief, overcoming self-doubt and fear, and shedding the layers that have held you back from burning as a naked flame of divine love. Can you perceive this coolness fast approaching to soothe your fire-weary soul? Peace is coming to you now, a respite from the fire before you're ready to burn into love again. The intensity of fire exists in relationship and spirits connecting to cool serenity, and you are capable of experiencing both. Your inner fire has pushed you forward, and your creative self-expression will manifest into the most beautiful forms. This is assured. You burn bright now, and yet it will be cooling of your soul embers that replenishes you and inspires you to new creative depths and heights in due time. And Spirit's still connecting. This oracle brings you a message from the heart of your labor. Sweet success will arise, and you can act now as if that success has already been made manifest. It is only a matter of time before it is so. From that success, new levels of experience and creative manifestation will take place. You're in a powerful creative cycle of intensity and serenity, dancing with each other through your heart. Like the sweet relationship of night and day, this cycle yields great harvest. And Spirit was connecting again. Offer yourself in contribution to the greater good, and your harvest will not only be of earthly delight, but of heavenly blessings too. And the poem reads, always feeding your love in every cell of my being. I open my soul, becoming one in your embrace. How rich the moments shared, I savor every one. And even when apart, your love envelops me, with knowing that we are complete. Together, like a new day, we are born. Okay? So know that, you know, when you feel, and I feel the fire, my back is very expressive of when we're getting a lot of that fiery energy, because it really burns. But when you're feeling that, just remember that we're going back and forth between this fiery energy and the coolness energy. So we can learn the relationship between the dark and the light, to understand how this works in our creative expression, how we expand form. Okay, so don't be afraid of it, even if it's uncomfortable. Allow it, and do your best to make yourself comfortable. But don't fear the fire. Just know that it's all part of it, right? So when you get bored, something comes in so that you're not bored anymore. It may or may not be something you want, though. It may be something to expand you. Okay, so just be reminded of that, and to don't react to things, to do the best to deal with situations in a calm way, and to certainly deal with things, but if you feel triggered by things, to try to take that to another place so you can deal with that issue on your own. Okay, so we're just about up. We're going to be on the 60-minute dot, so rise and be love, you guys.